Welcome to another ABS online video. Let's go and find out what we're going to learn today. Hello everyone, it's fantastic week 14. Time goes very quickly, doesn't it? One final material to look at this week. It's a good one. But let's have a think first. What were the previous two materials? Can you remember? Well, they're very, very good. We see them everywhere. Stainless steel and ceramic. They are both important to us every day. I'm sure you see them every day. You probably even hold them in your hand every day. That's how important they are. What about this week? Is this material important? Well, yes, it is. It really is. And actually, it is the material that man has been using for the longest time. So, even before man lived in houses, not thousands of years, more than 10,000 years. Man has been using this material for maybe 100,000 years. That's how important it is, because we still use it every day now. There it is. It's wood. It's all around us. Now, solid wood is great. It is so strong and durable. That's one of our great words from before, isn't it? Wood is maybe the most important material in the history of man. Wow, that's how good it is. Everyone likes wood. Solid wooden furniture is something that people often cherish for many years. Just look at some solid wood. People just hold the wood and they just feel, wow, this is great. Wood gives us a real feeling of strength. It's great. Now we have a new good word there. Cherish. Let's say it. Cherish. Cherish means love and take care of. So we can use it for people. Your mum and dad cherish you. And we can use it for things. So I love football. I could say that I cherish my old football shirt. It's great. I love it. Now, there is a problem with wood. It's really great and everyone likes it. The problem is that we have to cut the wood We can't just pick a tree that is a chair shape. We can't just get a table like we can get some apples. No, we have to cut the wood. So what problems could that make? Can you think? Well, of course we have to cut it. There are lots of different things around us that are made of wood, and they're all different shapes. So that's what we need to do. We need to make the wood into the correct shape. So if you look at trees, most of them aren't even very straight. This produces a lot of waste. Now that's not really good. I'm sure you know that our environment is very important, and usually the more waste we have, the more damage it can do to our environment. So usually a lot of waste, that means a lot of problems. When we cut wood, the waste produced is called sawdust and wood chips. Now, in the picture here, the sawdust is on the left of the picture, and it's very, very, very small. The wood chips are in the middle, and this just means pieces of wood that are too small to make anything out of. We get wood chips when we cut or even when we break wood. So this is waste. Sawdust and wood chips. And when we make something from wood, we get a lot of this waste. That sounds a bit sad, doesn't it? A little bit of a problem. But we've got an answer. Everything makes waste. Well, that is true. But wood is a natural resource. It could run out. So we have to try to conserve it. Conserve. Good word. Let's say it again. Conserve. Conserve means don't use too much. Try to save it. We can do this with all natural resources. We can do it with wood. We can do it with oil and gasoline. We have to try and conserve the natural resource. So what do we do? Well, I'm glad you asked that question. Here is this week's material. We can turn this waste into chipboard. There it is, chipboard. Well, now that's good. That means it isn't waste at all. we could call it a byproduct. Good word, byproduct. A byproduct is something that is made as well as the main product. So wood is our main product, but when we cut that wood, we make the byproducts that are sawdust and wood chips. So, here we go. This is the important part this week. How do we make chipboard? Well, chipboard is great, and you are probably very, very close to some chipboard right now, but maybe you don't know. Well, we will find out before the end of today. But how do we make it? First, the sawdust and the wood chips go to the factory. The wood chips need to be made small enough. They are put into a mill, which is like a big chopping machine. So the chips are poured into a mill and it just chops them up. How small? They are smaller than 5 millimeters. Now, if they're bigger than that, it would be quite difficult to make the chipboard very good quality. So these chips have got to be smaller than 5 millimeters. Right. So we've got another process, and it's a little bit difficult. So what's next? Next, we have to reduce the humidity. Another good word. Humidity is the amount of water in the air. Now, we can talk about humidity when we talk about the weather. If you go outside on a hot day and you get very, very sticky, well, that's because there is a lot of water in the air. There is a lot of humidity. But when we have these wood chips, we need the humidity to be very low. We don't want water. The humidity has to be less than 2%. So it is really dry. So no water, and that's very important later in the process. So, how is that done? How do we make the wood chips very dry? Well, we've got a big fire there. Now, I don't think we can put the wood into the fire. That would just burn. That would be no good. Well, the chips are put into a hot air drier. The hot air is produced by burning the sawdust. This is another good use for the waste. Oh, hold on. Or should we say byproduct? So let's think how that works. The sawdust is put into a big fire. We burn the sawdust. That makes a lot of hot air. The hot air is taken to a different place, and the hot air is blown over and through the wood chips. We don't want the wood chips too close to the fire. They would burn. That's no good. So we burn the sawdust. We use that byproduct to make dry wood chips. Great! Wow! Nothing is being wasted. We should never call it waste, should we? Now we have dry chips. Not potato chips. Do not get them mixed up. So what do we do next? The chips and some sawdust are mixed together with resin and glue. Now we all know what glue is. We stick one thing to another using glue. But what about resin? Well, resin is very similar to glue, but it gets right into the wood. So the glue stays on the outside, but the resin will soak into the wood. This makes a very sticky, woody, thick liquid. So what can we do with that? We don't want liquid wood. That doesn't sound very useful. Will it go hard? Well, quite soon. But first, it has to be the right shape. Now, those two words, quite soon, are very important. It means we have to do this next part quite quickly. We don't want it hard in the wrong shape. The mixture is put onto a long tray to make a thick, matte shape. That's the right shape. It is. It now goes through a cold compressor to squeeze out all the air. Now, here we've got the word compressor. A compressor is something that will compress. To compress means to make something flat using pressure. So we push down really hard to compress something. Do you remember last week? We said air bubbles can cause defects. We did not want air bubbles in the ceramic. Defects make things weak. Air causes defects, so we don't want any air in our new chipboard. Are we finished? Well, not yet. It now goes into a hot press. So we made it cold to compress it. Now we make it hot. This makes the glue sticky and really forces the mixture together. Now, one long continuous board has been formed. Continuous means that it just keeps going in one long piece. That's another good word, continuous. It needs cutting. Well, that's right. We can't have our chipboard being one long continuous piece. It needs cutting. Yes, it does. It is still hot, so very easy to cut. It is now just left to cool. Now we have the completed chipboard. Can you see in our picture? We've got some thin chipboard and some thick chipboard. We could make it any thickness we want, really. Of course, if it's very thin, it won't be very strong. But thick chipboard is. Are we finished? Well, most boards are laminated. A laminate is a thin piece of plastic that protects the board. If you look around, the chipboard that you see will probably have some plastic on the outside. That's called a laminate. So how is that done? Well, we need more glue. But this time a thin layer of glue is spread on the board. The laminate is then immediately stuck on top. Now it has to be done quickly, and again we don't want any air bubbles under the laminate. But the board is flat, so it's easy and looks uniform. Uniform? School uniform? Well, no. Here, uniform means something that is the same all over. So if you look at your school uniform, everyone looks the same. Uni means one. Now we have our perfect chipboard. Here in the picture, if you look at the side, you can see tiny chips of wood that have been compressed. And on the outside, we've got the very beautiful plastic laminate. Now we can use it. Use it for what? Well, it is so easy to cut. We can make different shapes to make any kind of furniture we want. Chairs, tables, bookshelves, cupboards, and anything else you can think of. Well, I guess we could say it really is very versatile. Do you remember the word versatile? It is useful. Well, it really is, yes. Now, we don't cherish chipboard, but it does such a good job. I don't think anyone has got chipboard furniture that they really love. It's not really the kind of thing we cherish. Well, now we have our chipboard and our chipboard furniture. So, shall we look at the new words from today? Sounds like a good thing to do. New words are great. They really are. What was the first one? Cherish. That means something you love and take care of. It can be a person or a thing. We cherish some real solid wood furniture. Conserve. Well, that means don't use too much of it. Try to save our natural resources. Conserve the resources. Byproduct. Now, we started today by using the word waste. But a byproduct is something that is useful, that is made when we are making the main product. So our byproduct was sawdust and wood chips, and they are made when we cut the wood. Mill. Well, a mill is a machine that just chops the wood up. We can also use the word mill to describe the place where the wood is cut. Humidity. That is how much water is in the air. If there is high humidity, there's a lot of water in the air. With our wood chips, we wanted a very low humidity, very little water. Some more new words. Resin. Resin is this liquid that's similar to glue but really gets into the wood. Compress. That is when we use a lot of pressure to squeeze something together. Continuous. Well, that just means to go on and on and on. Our wood chip board was made into a continuous length. It just went on. Laminate. That's the nice looking thin plastic that is glued to the outside of the chipboard. And uniform. Uniform means something that is the same all over. We can use it for school uniform, or we can use it when we're talking about a nice flat surface. Oh, well, more material next week. No. Okay, we have finished with materials. Next week is a crazy week. Do you remember? We had a crazy week before. Don't miss out. Make sure you are here. It's going to be a review week. They're fun, but they're important. See you soon, guys. Thank you for joining us. Bye. Thank you for watching our video today. Please don't forget, subscribe, and that will help us to make lots more videos for you. Thank you. Bye.